Hello, Divine Sunshiners. Stay uplifted, stay motivated, stay ascended. Namaste, Namago. Hello, this is Divine Sunshine. Let me see, I can get you just a little bit more this way. Okay, good. I got my thing behind me. That's all right. I said I had to come on and talk to you guys about some things that really has been coming up. I have several times, and I said I can't keep this to myself. I got to share with the Divine Sunshiners, and I've given the advice of reset to 3 different people, some spiritual, some not. As far as my bestie and my niece. And so I was like, you know what? I'm seeing a trend here. Okay, I can leave the light off. I'm seeing a trend here. Divine feminine energies, and we're going to talk about this tonight. So I'm not going to get too deep, super deep into, and please make sure that you do join us on the Playground Experience, where we do talk about the divine feminine energies currently going on in this anger, this undercurrent, and some of it ain't undercurrent. They're like, it's right there, being angry about it. So I'm saying, no, I'm not angry. No, I'm not angry at all. How did you get that? How do you think that I am? I'm fine. And it's like, okie dokie, you can't hear the tone as I'm learning the kids, and how that tone reflects on the outside of your frequency, and it creates a mood. That's what we're learning about tone and mood. The tone of the author creates the mood of the reader, and we're the readers. We're looking at you, and we're like, oh, okay, you say you're fine, okay, all right. And at the same time, it's like, no, within you're selling it, but we're not buying it. And I'm just, just keeping it 100 with you all, because we got to be 100 with ourselves. And that is one of the reasons why you have somebody on the outside, and not picking no one, but you know exactly who I'm talking to, that is important for you to understand. That's why you have other people to be able to gauge. Now, you do have to be very specific as to who you use to be that gauge, because you got to make sure that they're not using their own measuring stick to their own issues, and it says principalities and ideologies and all that stuff, and you say you measuring by that, and you got all them childhood wounds and yada yada yada. I can understand that, but then at the same time, as my mom says, sometimes spirit likes to bring you somebody that again is like God with the skin on. She always says that, like Source, and Source will bring you somebody that say, I can't be there. That's just like that joke that my aunt used to always talk about, which is, again, God said, I sent several people's men that was drowning, and they were sending several people out there, and then when it came time to, and they passed on, they was like, hey God, what happened, man? Hey dude, I kind of called on you several times. And God said, I did. I've sent you the helicopter. You turned him away. I sent you the fishing ship that came with the fishermen. You turned them away. Say you was waiting on God. And I did the last thing. I sent a helicopter. Or like Medea said, a helicopter. And you sent the helicopter away. They put the ladder down. You was like, no. And I'm saying, that was me. And all those times when I sent you. So sometimes you do have to. I do read the comments, and I kind of filtrate, and I say, okay, it's a trend. You're not the only one, and I love you. Okay, and I'm glad that you're brave to say that, because somebody else is watching out of my sunshiners, that out of the Sunshine Tribe, or the circle. I put the circle. The circle we are, that is thinking the same thing you are, but you're just the brave one that said it. So we got to understand that, again, with these divine feminine energies, and I'm reading the Power of Now, which I would, by Eckhart Tolle, which I would really strongly suggest that you do that. My niece had told me, she said, I found what you told me on, and I got even I got the journal, which I didn't know about the journal thing. I had to see about that. Now I'm kind of jumping on what one to subscribe and say again. I get so busy. The journal, I think with me, what I'm going to uphold, this will be my video blog or my video journal. What things that strike me, I'll come on here and kind of put the pieces of the puzzle of with a twin flame twist to it. Of understanding that again, when we have divine feminines and divine masculines, if you have the divine counterpart, as you all call or say, your divine partner, and they're out there doing their things, they're exploring. Like I said, the two, I don't call it chaser and runner dynamic. I call it the lighthouse and the explorer. While you being the lighthouse and getting enlightenment and being sturdy and being the foundation that all to seek rather is yourself or other people, your friends, your soul tribe, your family, those things, you stay there steady to give the light, to be a beacon of light that all that see, including your counterpart or including your partner. You stay there. They go off and they explore. They emotionally out there at sea. Sea represents spirit, which again is their emotions. Water represents emotion, and they're out there trying to get more understanding about themselves so that when they come back to the connection, it doesn't matter. Spirit just corrected me. Say no, it's not back to. Even whatever things that they're doing out there is also being telepathically or being fed back to your soul or your spirit to help you for your spiritual growth as well. So they're doing the work where they are, you doing the work where you are, and it is getting back. So it doesn't matter if they're with you or not. That's a lot of times when you say, I'm feeling physically, I'm feeling this, X, Y, Z. Well, okay, some of that stuff is not yours. Some of that stuff is coming from your divine counterpart. So while they're doing their work or whatever, like the dance of the crane, what it seems like the cranes, their mating game is that it seems like they're working in opposite directions, but they're still working their way back. Okay, so working their way back to you, babe. So understanding that while they're doing that, it is important for the divine. I'm gonna speak to the divine feminists because they're the ones I don't hear too much for the divine masculines, but they're doing their work as well. And so a lot of times divine masculines they get silent, they go off, they do their thing. I know if for divine masculines that I do know, I have heard from, so they often doing their thing, and they're collectively they like to do they that lone wolf. They like to go off and go into hermit mode so they can truly get the understanding of what's going on without the distraction of you. Is the divine feminines. Divine feminine energies that's housed in the female things. Most of the time we out there talking to our good girlfriends, getting information. We seeking it without and helping and getting validations and confirmations for it. And that's how we obtain the information. That's why we have to understand that the two energies of the divine masculine and divine feminines are different in ways in which they seek understanding or how they seek knowledge on things. And so it is important for us to understand that as divine feminines, I'm talking to you, and probably this stuff will filtrate it till later on, that in the again, and myself and even Kirk from Twin Flame All Star says the same thing, that really tell you the truth, if you could get that power now down perfected, you are going to be seeing yourself to in union with yourself first, where you're really feeling everything come together, and then also infiltrating out into with you in your getting your divine lover, whichever way that you want to define that as to be. So with that understanding that it is very important for us to stay in the now. So where I'm reading now, I think I'm on chapters 1 through 3, and where they're also talking about how it's important to stay in the now. One thing that was brought up in the text of understanding that in order to stay in the present, and what stood off in today's lesson that I had did again is understanding yesterday was the pain body, and I talked about that in the divine feminine thing, so I don't need to video blog on that. But if you did not see the divine feminine in karmic situations that want union, spirit says I'm gonna check and see about some numbers. But I believe source is, and I'm like my mom, I don't want to lie on him, but I believe I'm getting pushed to go back. It's like again how I could go back and make a wrong or right of the karmic situations, and it's not going back in it to strip down. It said that we have to remember again, karma has been stopped on the pipeline a long time ago, but some of it is showing me like pipes is still going through the plumbing system. It haven't went all the way. So what do we do when they turned off the water? And I remember one time they did it there. I said, well, I thought that, not because I didn't pay the bill, turned out to water because they were doing some work here. And so then I was like, what happened with the water thing? No, it wasn't the hot water. It was the hot water tank. And I was like, it ain't producing no more hot water. What happened? That's when the hot water heater had stopped, had broke. And then I was like, what's happening? I said, but it had heat this morning. And the man was like, you got so much tanks of hot water left in there. And then once that goes out, then, hey, you ain't got no more water after that. That's the same thing. It goes back to cold, or it's just water that's not being heated because it's broken. And that's the same thing what we're doing. Some of us are still dealing with the karmic issues or the hard lessons that we still have to learn here. And Spirit keeps on telling me who else not to do it but to show it, because you show it in a truthful way. And then I do also put in those trigger warnings, and I coach you through it. I'm not ones that talking about bashing where that he ain't doing this and this is what you do. You tell him deuces, kiss your A, da. I don't come for that. Did I come from that way? Yes. If you go all the way to the beginning, some of them I try to get off this thing and I put them as unlisted. But there are a couple of them that still filtrating that has the way how I was in the beginning. So I will admit that I was the ones that was kind of bashing, because at that time that's where I was. I was not able to see both sides of the coin. But now I do have a better understanding, and I would like to go back again into to help us to understand about some of the different variances of hard lessons that right now is still filtrating through the pipeline that's doing that. So again, like I said, I follow Spirit. The Spirit tells me, say, no, I want you to go back in there. Karma situations is not bad. Sometimes will I be talking from the lingo as if, again, there's old ways, maybe so, because again that might help you to understand. But anyway, I will continue on with that, because I've gotten so many people contacting me and telling me that was so helpful. It helped me to understand my thing. So if that's really helping you to get the keys, then I will go back into that. Sometimes the things that you don't want to do is the very thing the Spirit said that's the thing I want you to do. Okay, so I will say that I will go back into that, because I'm looking at the feedback that I'm getting, and I'm looking back at the numbers too as well, which is letting me know it's something that you all need. Okay, so understanding that it's very important that we stay present now. My understanding and about this pain body, some of you all divine feminines especially, and I'm not picking on you, because again I resonate between both energies, but again some of the things that we are saying that are statements that are coming from that ego. The ego is of protection, and that ego is saying things that make you to believe that that is truly what is going on and what is presenting itself, and that's falling for the illusions of things. Well, you're saying, well, he did X, Y, and Z, and you didn't see him doing X, Y to me. And I do understand that. I do get that, gather that. Mine has done the same thing, and maybe if we sit down and have a good conversation about it, and I throw down everything that the DM has done to me, and you throw down there, we might say, damn, yours worse than mine. Who knows about that? We might be saying, girl, the same thing. And he did that, and I bet you I know what he about to do, what he did next. And he did X, Y, and Z, did this. Say, sure did. Well, you did, so we can swap stories all day long about that. But my thing is again, that's the past. Some of us are still going ahead and still wanting and desiring the union with the divine masculine, but we're still painting it with the past hurts. We're still painting and defining what's going on in the present due to what happened in the past. And we've got to learn how to be able to live in the now. That's why I'm titling this the reset button. I've said this before. I've told you all before about that. I called it dislike the sin but love the sinner. The sinner, again, is from my metaphysical bring it up, is a person who missed the mark. We've all missed the mark. You have even missed the mark. I've told you to even try to put yourself into their shoes. Now, what is important to understand that, again, what today's lesson that I learned about is, again, living in the present. Now, how are we on this twin flame journey being able to live in the present is, again, about getting on everyday correcting, because again today's lesson was about this mind is playing, they do like ghetto boys, plays tricks on you. It tells you what you think is going on. It tries to define things. It defines it through that ego state of mind, which is again protecting you. Girl, he doing this, he playing you for a fool, don't listen to what she's saying, she's sounding crazy. Again, so that means what we go by that, we just let them play us for a fool. So my thing is, again, that's that mind set there again. You've got to get to the point where you're living in the presence of now, that you got to cut out all that mindless chatter, because that doesn't even just go for the divine masculine. Some of you all are still using that type of, using your mind to help you to identify things on the job, your relationship with your family, the judgments that you do, all of those things, those extra dialogues, instead of being able to observe things for what they are, and then be able to move out of that place, and then be able to actually just hit the reset button. I've gotten to the point, even with me, as coming from a background of being taught to be able to judge things, be very defensive of things, because that's just how it was. Because even the defiant family dynamic, that's the way how my mom handled things, the way my dad handled things, and that's the only way that I learned how to, is to follow that template. Knowing that sometimes some of that things did not seem like it resonated, it did not seem like it was part of who I said something wasn't right. Till now I got into this journey and got into it deep, and being in a position of leadership, I had seen that, okay, now I see what resonates in my heart to say, okay, that was not right, and I cannot continue to take the torch on that they've given me about how the family way of how they handle things is saying that's going to really help me on this journey as to where I am. That's not going to help me as far as me getting into union with myself, because a lot of stuff doesn't resonate, and I say I cannot go along with that ideology or that system that I have created based upon the way my family had did, because that's not sustaining me and making me follow union with self, or make me find my happiness or my pleasure. In order for us to now to hit that reset button, that is why when I listen to Eckhart Tolle's thing of understanding that is the importance of doing things. That's why in that reading when we have for Divine Feminine, it was talking about your talents. Your talents is important. The talent is important, or your gift that you have, because that keeps you, if you want to say in so many words, it keeps you distracted. But not only does it keep you distracted for what's going on with the divine masculine, or what's going on with the divine feminine, that say you saying to them, to you, to say can't get they together. That is a way for you to be able to stay present, according to Eckhart Tolle, and we put it on the twin flame journey spin, to stay present to where you are. When you stand present, you're allowing for things to attract and to come to you. You're not bothered about what's going on with the divine masculine. Like I also told my bestie again, also your intentions. We've got to learn how to, when we hit the reset button, it's almost like, again, we program in the computer. If this is what you had wanted with the divine masculine, again, you want union, hey, you could go through your same things again and say again, I am looking for a life partner, or a love partner that's going to be present here for me, lovingly present for me. Either it's the divine masculine or something better, okay? But I'm going to set it and let it go, hit the reset button, and let life from this point on attract that person to me. Now that does not mean I'm actively going out there and I'm making it happen with the divine masculine, or I'm making it out there happen with this new person as well. You do put forth a little, some work towards it, but there's a difference. I can hear someone, well, how am I gonna do it if I don't work out there? It's a difference. You can tell when you out there and you doing things, and it's a desperancy mode. Like, I'm gonna go out here, put on my best dress, show my cleavage, and have this short dress on, and I'm gonna go out there, pre-COVID or whatever, when it opens or whatever, wherever you are, maybe it might be open, and I'm gonna go sit at the bar, and I'm just gonna sit out the signals to people that I'm available. Okay, That's a whole different thing. Rather than you, the Spirit is bringing to me, saying, you know, I'm going out today, whatever way it leads today. If I meet my person, whatever. If I meet somebody that's just a nice conversation, that's whatever. I didn't already set the intentions to let Spirit know I'm open. So, hey, I could maybe go to the grocery store and bump into somebody. He might say, hey, excuse me, I got this recipe about how to use this kind of fruit. Have you used this fruit or used this vegetable before? And you looking and you busy about your thing, like, okay, now what is this? Who bothering me? And you turn, oh, wait, okay, wait a second, okay. Let me pull myself together. Okay, yes. Now, what were you saying? Oh, that fruit or that vegetable? Oh, yes, I've used it. And then, you know, you got that. Now, that ain't not you going out there to the club, got the short dress and the cleavage out there, putting it. That's you willing it to be so. You already had set the intentions. You like, hey, if it doesn't, if I come back, I'm not beating myself up upside the head and saying, I went out there, I ain't see nobody. See, this stuff don't work. Well, again, you're looking at there again for expectations. You're not living in the present. Because the present, see, when you up there doing that, that's that expectation that Eckhart Tolle is talking about, where you put impression about what's going to happen in the future. And like he said today in the book, when I read, was like that future, you banking into the future about what's going to happen, but you're not even paying attention to the present. That goes back again to the Divine Feminine reading that I did with the karmic situation. And I told you, karmic situation is person, place, thing. Does it have to be with an actual person? And you're doing that, you're not even being present or giving thanks or having gratitude or even accepting the reality in which spirit or source is presenting you with. Then I told you, it is not going to give you anything different until you accept, you learn, you master, and you have gratitude for the place that you are actually in. Okay, so in order for that, again, you got to hit that reset button. You got to go out there with that intentionality. You got to come out there with a whole new ball game. Whatever things that, like I told one friend, whatever that you been your go-to that you do, and you see you have not been getting any kind of success, guess what? Do the exact opposite of what you naturally are thinking that you should do in the situation. So most of the time that family member come for you and you say XYZ and you sit there and say, oh, okay, you know what? Let me give you a piece of your mind, and you going back and forth with that. So think about the opposite. Instead of they going like that, they say XYZ. You like, okay, all right then. You know what? It's been nice. How you doing? That's nice. It's been nice visiting with you. I'm gonna go to the store. I gotta go to the store and go run some errands and get a couple of things at the store, and it was nice talking to you. And then you go on ahead and you out of there. What is that? That is shift the whole energy with that. Oh, she ain't playing no more. You used to, I could press the little buttons. You hit the reset button. Say, I'm about to, no, reset. Okay, tell her the grocery store or wherever. Maybe you ain't got to get nothing. You just like, I just got to get out of heck and get out of Dodge here. I'm not going with that with you. So this is where you are to do, again, the reset. Understanding the being present into the moment where you are, understanding how to use that reset button to change your attitude or the way you're doing things, and the way the outlook of how you look at the journey as well, because it's very important, like I said, you to get into your bliss. Your bliss or your mission helps you to stay present. And I know a lot of times they would say the mission, the mission, the mission, but it's not even that. It's about using where you are and mastering where you are, and that could be also a talent that they bring it to me. They say that takes talent, skill, and ability to be able to master where you are and to turn that situation and not to answer it the same way like you used to do. That is also takes great talent. So that helps you to stay present too, but not to, again, to answer in the same way you did. Cause I already know, because when she says such and such, that's going back into the past. That's not living into the present. I already know when he called, the conversation gonna be, hi, what you doing, and that's it, okay, and it's not gonna lead to anything else, okay. So how do you usually handle when he say that? Usually I go off to talk to the divine masculine, and he sit there like, okay, well, let's try something different. How you doing? Fine. How you doing? She ain't talking back to me. What the? And then I might cause him to start talking. So, oh, okay, good. Now I was waiting for you to start spilling the beans. I'm the one that's always talking. I didn't even know the things that you're talking about that you're sharing with me. I didn't know you even felt that way, or that's what's currently going on. Hit the reset button. Try something different to help you to remember to stay in the present, in the now. Because some of us keep on dipping into the past about what they did. You keep on being anxious about what the future, what's going to happen. And it's not helping you to stay grounded into where you actually are. And this backs up. So if you did not, but see the divine feminine with karmic, wanting union, please make sure that you look at that again. It's got some real good keys. Even I got to go back in there because I premiered it and I didn't watch it, but I was watching it, but I was talking in the Sunshine Lounge so much that I wasn't able to get even the grasp a lot of the information that I have. Because when I channel, I leave out. So I'm like, when I watch back again, I'm just like you, like, oh, wow, that's good. Ooh, that's good. That's good. So again, that makes, yeah, you say, what? Yeah, the essence of me is there, but I come in and come out, and so that's not, when you see me going in mode, it's like I really truly remove myself and let them drop in and take over. So some things I do remember, some things I don't. That's the same thing when you all get readings with me. You like, you said what? Sometimes I just go on here, which is not right. I kind of lie. I say, yeah, I remember. Sometimes I do remember. Sometimes I don't. And I say, yeah. Because you all like, it sounds funny to you. That it's like, you was not, I don't know. I wasn't nowhere present for that. And that's how they come to be so accurate, because I let them take over. I say drop in. All I do is just make sure I surround myself that don't nobody else try to drop into my spirit, and that's it. All right, still working on the things. Had a lot of things. My baby was upset yesterday. Wasn't feeling well. I'm gonna put that way. Thank God she's feeling much better. My little Princey Pooh. I'm like, oh my God, to see her in that condition like she was last night. I mean, it just messed me up. I was trying to stay present. My dad was like, he told my mom, he said, go get your princess for Bertina, because she about to break down. I was trying to hold it, and I was like, some things, and Spirit will, after I had just read the book, I said, I'm learning how to stay present. I'm going to master this. Spirit came right there and slapped me with that, and she's whimpering and everything like that, and I was trying to hold. I was like, stay present. Just observe. Don't get to anything into it. Don't add into this moment to see what it is. Don't judge anything. And I did it for a good 20 minutes. And then after that, it kept on going. I said, oh, God, I got to let it go. Okay, what's going on with my baby? So, but after a while, I was like, okay, stop with the thoughts. Put it to the side. Stop with the thoughts. Put it to the side and stay present with what's going on. And after a while, and then that's another thing. Once you do set the intentions, and just to let go, things come faster and reset themselves, or reset themselves easily than you putting all that energies. That's why it's easy enough for when you do say the words for the divine masculine or your divine counterpart to set it and to keep on going, and it'll come back much faster. But for you to sit there waiting, that's why I say actively waiting, which means do you, boo, and then allow for Spirit to go on ahead and do that. Okay? All right then, and let them bring you your heart's desire. All right then, as always, stay uplifted, stay motivated, stay ascending. Namaste, Namago. Love you.